I'm looking at myself, I'm like, oh, I look like shit. Anyway, hello guys, and welcome back to the Say More podcast with Lauralie and Phoebe. Very excited to have you. How are you today?
Hello, babies. Happy episode 10.
I can't.
We're
Do you
like,
know what? There's a thing that people say, like, if you get past episode 10, then you're more likely to be continuous with your podcast. So I was like, we'll wait till episode 10 so I can say this, because I was like, you when you get to episode 10, it's like, okay, cool, it's a frequent thing now. Like, it's been 2 months, over 2 months.
girl, I cannot wait. We're not going to tune in at like 85 years old. I'm going to be like, episode number, like
Episode number.
835,
Yeah, literally, like
meant to
so many
stay.
episodes. That's so
I
funny.
know. Till
Oh, that's
death
hilarious.
do us apart. Definitely.
Yes.
You're
No, but
you're
thank you
my,
guys.
yeah. Obviously, it's a lot from like people's support, and
Yeah.
it's been so fun.
I know, I enjoy it like a lot. Like, I mean, I was speaking to someone the other day and they were just like, it's just, it like, I mean, we've said this many a time before, but it says that people said that they sound like they're just speaking to their girlfriends, which is just fun because it's just nice to just have that kind of vibe. You know, it's very chill, it's very easy, nothing too kind of, I don't know, structured and whatnot. It's just a nice little chat, which is cool. But
Yeah.
how's your week been so far?
Good, good. No complaints. Been
Good.
relaxing. Got my
Nice. I
blood
mean,
work
we did only
done.
speak like on Wednesday. I forget that we did a podcast on Wednesday. So, and it's Sunday
Oh,
now.
shoot.
I know, because
Right.
that was because of me, because I was traveling. So there hasn't been much in between that time really that's happened, has there? I mean, what did you
Right.
do
I
this
don't want to
weekend?
I definitely don't want to repeat myself.
I know.
But no, it's been good. It's been good. How about you?
Yeah, good. Like, it's just been, I was literally just saying to you obviously a second ago, it's just been busy. It's been hectic, which is, it's weird because I generally thrive off, I don't know if you feel like this as well sometimes, but I do thrive when things are a little bit more chaotic. I don't know why. Am I the only
I
one?
think
Or,
it's just it forces you to be so scheduled because you're like,
yeah,
if I don't do this right now, then it's going to be completely chaos, you know?
yeah.
But
And I
it's like
feel,
you live in like a controlled chaos though.
yeah, I like that controlled chaos because like it's manic. Like today, I scheduled into, which is so funny, go down to the pool for at least 15 minutes and just do some swimming, just to take your mind off things. Like don't go on your phone, don't go on a
Aw,
laptop,
I love.
whatever. And I was so like, oh, I can't be bothered. I just want to sit here and just like relax. And I was like, no, because I know is when I go down to the pool, I will feel more relaxed than being sat here on my phone. So I was like, just go downstairs, and I felt good. So I feel like it's like every hour is like scheduled at the moment, which is a lot, but it's good. It's exciting and it keeps my life going. But Max gets back tomorrow, which I'm excited.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's been away. He's been away for like
It
I
feels
think
like
like
2 years.
it feels really long. Like this, I mean, I obviously have been away from him for like what 3 months at a time
I
before,
know.
but this feels really long. Like this feels, I think it's been like 6 7 weeks. I think so. It has been
Yeah.
long. So it has
It
been
goes
long,
fast, but
but
it's long. It's like
yeah.
what do people say right now? It's like the days are long, but the months are fast.
Yes. No, who said that? I think someone we both follow said that the other day.
Really? I don't know. I
'Cause
just
I've
feel
heard
like
that
that.
saying this week as well. Like, as in, like the days go quick, but like the months go. No, I've heard that this week, which is weird. But no, I get that. It goes like you're like, oh, like we're in July next week. Oh, like what? I know. I'm like, why is it going so quick? So
Wild.
no, I get that. But no, I'm excited to see him. And I mean, the next 6 months or so look really hectic for both of us. But we're both going to be, I think, together for it because I think both going to be traveling quite a lot. I'll be going to the UK, US, other places as well. So, and I think he'll be coming with me, which will be fun. So I'm excited for that, to be fair. So it'll be nice.
Oh, that sounds
But
like a lot of fun. A lot of
yeah,
fun.
I know. So yeah, I'm excited for it. But no, in honor of today's episode 10, which is a pretty big, like that's a pretty, like it's our first double digit episode. Pretty big. We thought I texted Lauralie literally like I think it was yesterday or Friday, and I was like, so we should do this for this episode.
I love when you come up
And she
with
was like,
ideas.
love
It's
that.
always like we always share idea like very suspenseful. It's like
I
I
know.
have this idea, dot dot dot, and then it's in like another text. Like we never share idea like in the same text. It's like a
It's
surprise.
like text after text after text. I'm like, so this episode will be dot dot dot, and then it will send the next one. You're like, right, and then you
But
just reply like, hey, yeah, that sounds good. And I'm like, I love how we just both agree. We're like, yep, we'll do that. It's perfect.
Easy.
But today's
Easy.
episode will be about, well, we'll be going through our 10 things that we have learnt this year. And we've also, or this year so far. And we've also asked you guys kind of what you've learnt this year, obviously on our Instagrams. And there's loads of really good things as well. And they kind of align with a
Yeah.
lot of things that we've said and stuff as well.
Mm.
But we're not going to do 10 things each because I was like, think of, I said to Lauralie, I was like, think of 10 things that you've learnt this year. And I was like, I came back onto it here and I was like, 10's a lot. Let's do 5 each. It still add up to 10. That's a
Because
lot.
otherwise it would add up to 20. And I'm like,
Yeah, to
20
be fair.
lessons might be like, it's already overwhelming for me. Like, I don't know how, like, people are be like, oh my God, like, I really need to, like, get on it for, like, this year. So I think, 5 is fair. And I definitely want
Yeah.
to hear, like, what people have said because I just feel like it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, let's
I
start with
kind of
that, to
wrote
be
down,
fair. We can always start with that if you wanted to. What did you want to do? Did you want to go first or did you want to hear what the peeps have to say?
honestly, when I was writing myself down, because I have, like, obviously notes,
I
literally.
love, show them, I was going to say, show them the little lights. I love that. When you're like, I
I
have
mean,
my
they're
notes.
everywhere. They're like post-its. Like, it's great, They're everywhere. And what I realized is that I started, like, the question was, what are the lessons that I've learned? And they were kind of like so broad and kind of more like lessons that people should get. So I was more like being like a guide or something, or more like
Yeah.
than saying, okay, this is something that I've learned and that I'm applying, on a daily basis. I think
Yeah.
it's like a consistent thing. I don't know what we came up with. I don't know. I'm
I
excited.
mean,
I think we should maybe go like our first 5, your first 5, and I definitely want to dive into like some of it because
yeah. Oh,
some of
yeah.
it some kind of explanation. And so
Oh, 100%.
so we can do like, what do you think to keep it like
Let's,
smooth?
let's go with, let's go with yours first. I'm excited. I want to hear
Yeah.
yeah, I want to see what yours, yeah, you're like, okay, shit. I
Okay.
want to hear what your 5 lessons that you've learned and we can kind of dive into those and then we can talk about mine and the other peeps. So what's your first one on your list?
Okay, so let's start with the biggest one because this week I made a post on Instagram and it was about that. So my
Okay.
biggest lesson of this year and probably from my whole entire life is that good and pure intentions makes who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Authenticity makes what you are. And in a
Mm-hmm.
world of today's age where like perception is everything, like you really need to be as authentic as you can. And hopefully you have good intentions. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, do you agree with this? Like, does that
Oh
make
my
sense?
God, yeah. No, I'm just listening, like fully listening to you. Like, no, I 100% agree with
Let that
this.
sink in for a bit, okay? If you know you have pure and good intentions, which is great, but it doesn't translate completely because you put yourself around people or environment or situations that it forces you to not go through with your purest, like rightful, great intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and you end up saying something or doing something just in order to be like loyal to that person or putting yourself into like a better place into that environment for that moment in time, well, that shit's gonna come bite you in the
Back
in
to
the
you.
ass because now that it's out in the air, it's very hard for you to tell someone like, but these were my intentions, but it's like, but you translate those intentions into doing something completely different. So
Yeah.
I got this um analogy with the drunk driver, right? So let's say you're at a party, like you and I were at a party, like you get drunk and I'm also like a little tipsy and I know that you need to like work tomorrow, like you need to have your car to go to work. I'm just like, listen, I'm good. I got you. You're my ride or die. I'm here to help you. I care about you. I'm gonna drive. So I
Okay.
drive. While I drive, I hit someone and I
Mm-hmm.
kill someone. So like
Mm-hmm.
we drive and we kill someone. Okay, very
Yeah.
dramatic. The I'm gonna tell the cop, no, but listen, like she needed to go to work tomorrow. Like I'm a good friend, don't you see it? Like I care about her. But he's like, but you actually like you killed someone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like you kill someone through your actions. So I've personally got caught up into a lot of these things because I was like, I'm such a loyal person. Like loyalty is like my first thing. And I realized
Mm-hmm.
that because I would allow disrespect, but I wouldn't allow like not being loyal. Like
Yeah.
cheating, lies, like all these things, like for me it's cutthroat. Like you cheat, you lie, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
it's that bad. So I was so I was very close to someone, like very loyal, and whatever they were doing, I was just like, no, it's not. My conscience is clear. My intentions are good. I just want to like do my thing. I'm just loyal to that person, and that's what ties us together. And then once I was able to like voice my boundary and just be like, this is not acceptable for me anymore because it doesn't, what you're doing is very bad for like what I'm doing and it's just not
Yeah.
working anymore. Instead of having an apology for that person, like I've basically just let them expose themselves, right? So like you
Yeah.
let them expose themselves and you see what kind of person you have around you. So let's say we're at the same party, you and I'm drunk, you're drunk, and you needed the car. And I was to tell you, okay, babe, like I really want to help you right now. You know how much I care about you and I love you, but I cannot drive because I'm also tipsy.
Yeah.
Your first response would be like, oh my God, babe, like of course I would never want you to put yourself
Yeah.
in a position like in jeopardy to you like to ruin your fucking life like completely. If you even get like a DUI, like you could be stopping for traveling and stuff. Like, no, I care about you and your life much more than me having my car to go to work. Like I'll figure it out. Like I'll walk or I take
Mm-hmm.
an Uber or something. That for me is the kind of like friendship that I want now in my life. And it's not something that I don't want to not say something. And like in the past I would just not tell you that because I would be so scared of disappointing you to just say it. To
Okay.
just
Yeah.
say it and like see your face being like, but like I thought you were my ride or die. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but like why like I would be so stuck in a position I would feel like it's just like I'm just telling you right now the way that I'm feeling of just like
Yeah.
seeing you like
I
disappointed or
can
just like
see it
being
as
mad at
well.
you.
No, 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 no. I'm not disappointed. Like I'm not. I'm listening. Like I'm
No,
listening.
no, no.
Like
I'm just no in
wholeheartedly
that
to it.
analogy that I'm saying. Like it just
Yeah.
if I would to see you like disappointed, like it would be
Yeah.
the death of me. Like I would be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I disappointed Phoebe. Like it's the death of me. And the thing is, like you understand like where I'm going with that. It's
Yeah.
just
100%. I
it's a
think
lot of like
I think the hardest thing for like with that analogy, well, the best thing about that analogy is like you said like before at the beginning, like being authentically yourself doesn't always mean saying yes to everything and like saying, oh yeah, I have to do what's best for this person, this person. It is about what is best for you, but you can still obviously your intentions still be true to that person, but also not agree with them. Do you know what I mean? Like and stay true to who you are 100%, and I get that like wholeheartedly what you're talking about, and I think you've experienced that a lot obviously in the past like year or two. I mean 2 years plus to be fair. And you're still learning it now, but I think I think everyone is like I'm definitely someone that's been in that situation as well, where I've been like I've wanted to like voice my opinions and stuff, but I felt like if I say no to this or do something kind of like opposite to what they actually want, I'm going to be so, I don't want to see them upset. I don't want to see them disappointed. I want to try and please this person and I want them to be happy with me. So I'm going to agree with them regardless, even if I don't agree with it, which isn't always, it's not always, it's not the best option. Like,
because
and it's
girl,
always
like
hard.
if let's say I put myself in a position where I'm taking the courage of telling you like how I really feel. Like, hey girl, like
Mm.
me driving you back, like I really care about you, but me driving you back like puts me in jeopardy. And it's just
Yeah.
and you would, let's say, react like, girl, I thought you were my ride or die. Then I'm just like, do I want that friend in my life? Absolutely
No.
not. So like as long as you're not aligned with your intentions, aligned with your like authenticity and integrity, you'll never know who you have around you, like for sure, for sure. And until then, you don't have real friends, and everything that you have is fake around you.
Yeah.
And the second that person, I had that friend for a very long time, like very close to me, and I took my big girl's pants once, and I was like, "Hey, I've listened to you. I know, like you've recommended me to like take the reins for myself and take care of my own and my own business and all these things." and that person just like completely exposed themselves, like completely like the opposite that I would ask out of a friend, which is like compassion and just like, oh my God, girl, let's fucking go. Like, I'm sure if tomorrow, Phoebe, I tell you, like, listen, I need to cut off the podcast and just like think about myself. I'm confident enough in our friendship, which would be like, babe, whatever is fucking best for you. Like, I don't
Yeah, 100%.
like, right? Like, and we'll find a solution out about it. And
Yeah.
I think, that's why I have very little friendship, because I've been not in place myself in good position to be completely myself with a lot of people, honestly.
Yeah. But
It's
it's
scary.
hard.
It's very scary.
Yeah. And you can
It's
even
very
see like
scary.
with the way that you obviously even like you saying this is already like very vulnerable for you. And I appreciate you kind of
Yeah.
obviously even voicing this anyway, because I think people will relate to this a lot as well, because everyone's gone through it. Everyone's been in that situation where they have been like, I want to please, like people pleaser. They want to please the people that are around them. They don't want to disappoint people. And like, that's a normal human interaction sometimes. But then when you realize, okay, if it doesn't align with me, why am I wanting to then please this person or want to do this thing for this person if it's not actually what I want to do? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a coach, or for example, like a coach has said, like, I don't know, like you need to add more cardio to your diet, and I'm like, I don't want to add more cardio to my diet. That's not like that's not the things that you don't want to do. But it's different to that. It's like wholeheartedly your true core values. What do
Like,
you
if it
believe in?
doesn't feel right, it's just not
Yeah.
right, period. Like, if it doesn't
Yeah.
feel right, it's not right, period. Like, that's all. And it
Yeah.
should be voiced to the person that you just don't feel right with it. Like, it doesn't sit right with you, and you don't need to suck it up. Like, it doesn't make you more of a person because you're able to suck it up. Like,
No. No.
I I hate that people are just like, oh my God, you're so strong and you have so much stamina. Like, not really. Like, it's just, you should live by who you are, and just
Yeah.
what doesn't feel right, you voice it, and you just stand strong by that. That for me is a strong person. You came up in my therapy. I don't know if I told you about that, but your name came up, and
Lovely.
it was like, because we figured out my people pleasing tendencies are like very, very deep, like because of the core beliefs that I
Yeah.
have of just like being unworthy and all these things. And she's like, you're talking to me about this friend like Phoebe, and I'm like, because I was talking to her about my past relationship, with just relationship in
Hmm.
general, like friendships and all these things. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she's fucking rock solid. And
Oh.
why are you saying that? And it's just like, she's just fucking solid. Like, it's just the girl that you meet, and she just lives into her truth, like completely unapologetically. And like you said, you've faced that people pleasing tendencies in the past, but I feel
Mm.
that you were more aware than I was. Like, I was
Yeah.
really living like heavily in that, and I thought that was my truth.
Yeah.
So
And
to
that's
me,
hard to
when
come out of. That's hard to come out of it when you
girl,
just
because
think like, oh, I agree with this person. Like, and if anyone even says like to them, like, are you sure? Are you sure that they're right with this? And you're like, no, they're 100% like, and that's all you believe is like what people are either telling you or like, I had to be fair, I have lived that before. Like, not on obviously a level that like, you have, but I've lived that, if someone didn't agree with something that I'd said yes to, and I'm like, no, that's 100% like I believe in that, and they're like, really? And I'm like, well, do I don't know. And then you just think about it, you just rethink everything. You're like, do I actually believe that, or is it because I'm just wanting to please this person?
or
And it's
even
hard.
yeah, that was actually that goes really well along my like my second one, or like my ninth one. I can't remember.
Ninth one, I'm
But it's
sorry, I didn't actually say. I was like, oh, just do 5, and I was like, actually no,
yeah.
do 10, which is a lot. What's your second one?
So I feel like we should go with that. Like you said, building your own opinion,
Hmm.
and just be you, like
Yeah.
fully you. Because I feel, and especially a lot in the US, there's a lot of left and right, right? It's like left and right, that basketball team, the other basketball team. Like, people cannot just see like, hey, we love basketball. It's like not enough for them. Like, they need to label themselves. They
Yeah.
need to put themselves in a box to be like relevant. And that really affected me when, as much as I've been like so vulnerable and open and all these things on social media, if someone really wants bad for you and starts like lying about your character and just like saying a ton of bullshit, people will jump on the next like flavor of the month just because it feels relevant and it feels like, you know, they're just part of something. People just
Yeah.
want to be part of something. It's nuts. Like, yeah, I have like that's my biggest lesson this year because I feel that people will just put whatever pieces to fit their own narrative. And
Yeah.
I can just personally stop trying to be understood and pray for the people to come back when they feel like they need the truth and lead by the
Yeah.
truth. Because until then, if you wanted me to be the villain of the story and just um, live with lies because it fits your narrative better at the present moment, I need to feel fine with it. And I think that's where obviously the pure and good intentions like saves you. It saves my sanity. It saves my sanity, but it doesn't like have saved my image per se. Because
Yeah.
people can twist shit around back and forth like they want, and perception is a very big thing, especially like in this day and age. And people cannot they only see what they see, right? They don't see like the
Yeah.
Photoshop, the lies, all these things. They won't dig for anything. They just want to
No.
take part of something. So they're either team this or team that, or they're, you know, they're black or white, but they're never in that
In the
sweet
middle.
middle things, which is fucking gray zone, where a lot of possibilities are there. There's, you know,
It's like being open-minded. It's like being
yeah,
open-minded. Like I think a lot
right.
of people, like you said, are one side or the other, and that's it. That's all they believe. There's no you could be persuaded or potentially, okay, actually, let's have a look into this other opinion and see what it looks like. Because it could be for me, you never know. Like, I think you're right on that one where people are very much like, they believe only what they believe and they will not budge, like, because that is their opinion. That's all they care about. They don't want to try
Yeah.
and learn anymore. Don't want to try and venture out anymore. They just want to believe what they want to believe. And that's fine if they want to. But then
Yeah.
also at the same time, it could be lies. It could not be
I
true.
feel
It
like
could
it's sad.
be whatever.
Yeah.
And it does suck when it is like that, especially if the other side of, you know, that lie or person or anything like that is getting hurt or something like that. So it's not the greatest, but I get that. I think that's a good lesson, obviously, as well, that a lot of people will probably relate to as well, for sure. So, but
So
it's
that's
hard.
always my second one. On to my
Mm-hmm.
third one. No is a full sentence.
A what?
No is a full sentence. That's my third one.
Oh, I was like, I literally didn't hear that. That's a good one. No is a
Yeah.
full sentence. I like that.
hmm That's my third biggest lesson of this year,
I mean, that's a
and to
good one
carry on
because I
with the
think,
rest of my life. I don't think I need to
yeah,
dig in really like big on this one. It's pretty
no,
self-explanatory,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
No is the full sentence, especially for women, but for men too sometimes, you know, for men too.
yeah.
Um, Fourth one is personally coffee after 2 p.m. I cannot, girl. I'm too old for this shit. Coffee after 2 p.m. I'm like not sleeping for like the next 8 hours, and then I say I have
Oh my
insomnia. I'm like,
God.
on the truth, I just had caffeine after 2 p.m. I cannot. I
I mean,
remember my
I
mom.
learned that lesson a long time ago. Like, I remember when I used to be fucking obsessed with caffeine. And, like, some people obviously, I mean, anyone listening is probably, if you're a bikini girl and a bodybuilder, I mean, you probably are caffeine obsessed. But, like, I used to have, like, rain at, like, 3 p.m. and just not sleep. Like, I know some people,
Wired.
like, the other day, I think I was on the train in London, and I saw a guy at 6 p.m. have a full fat, like a full, what's it called? Full calorie, full fat, whatever, monster at 6 p.m. I was like, child, are you not going to sleep? He might have been going to a work shift. I don't know. But still, like, are you going to sleep?
Child.
Child, are you going to sleep? No, clearly not. So I was like, the fuck? Like, some people, I don't know, like, I know people that are like completely caffeine tolerant. Like, they could have 3 cups of coffee, not touch the sides. I can literally have one in the morning and I'm wired. Like, I'm good for the rest of the day. In prep, maybe I'll have an energy drink as well. But, like, I mean, are you the type of person that can have a lot of coffee in the morning? Or do you have the one and you're done?
No, I came down a lot because I learned
Okay.
about a beautiful thing called adrenal glands, and we're
Yeah.
not very kind to our adrenal glands where we're in prep. So
No.
in prep, I take my coffee in the morning, one, and then a little Celsius
Yeah, a little
midday.
Celsius
Called it
and that's
midday
it.
pick me up.
Yeah.
but
Because it's
I'm
a lot of
very like,
caffeine if you think about it. Like it's a lot. Like it's like one cup of
yeah.
coffee. I don't even know how much is what. Like a Starbucks, a big one, like a venti or something like that is probably a lot. Surely.
I think it's like 220. I think a venti is 220
Oh my god.
milligrams.
And then
I think.
I'm pretty sure. What is a Celsius two? No, is it two
No,
hundred?
Celsius is 180, I think.
Okay, that's not too bad
Yeah.
then. I mean, still though, that's like a lot of caffeine consumed in one day. I don't know what's the average.
I think 180 is like an average, I think.
What to have a day?
I think it's like it's a coffee, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean,
That's not too bad.
pre-workouts, some pre-workouts have 400. Like my brother takes 400 like it's nothing.
What the
It's a lot.
fuck? That's a lot. I don't understand how someone can consume that and not have a heart attack at this point because my heart is going pitter patter like when I have like one coffee. And I don't know, what do you feel it as well? Like when you're leaner, you feel caffeine more. Because I feel when I get leaner, I feel caffeine way more. Like I can sometimes
1000%. Like
yeah.
earlier. You
Yeah.
feel the jittery feeling like quick.
Yeah, like it's
Like
almost
it
like
goes into your
instant.
bloodstream.
Yeah, I'm
It's like
like, it's straight
IV.
there. It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, okay, so that's number 4. Good one. Very good one. Number
Oh my God.
5, what's your fifth
Number.
lesson
No,
of
I need to like decide between the next 5 that I had.
the next 5
Well,
that you have?
because I
Well,
wrote
have you
anything.
written down 10? You've got 10, haven't you?
Okay, last one, but not least. It's so good. I want to kind of like
We can always do
merge
6
both.
if you wanted to.
I'm gonna
If you want
merge
to do
both.
6. Okay.
Try more. Try
Yeah.
more. Like on everything,
I
right?
like
Like
that.
try to live more, try to be present more, try to be more patient, try to be more loving. Like, no, always be loving, always be loving, always be present, but just
Yeah.
try more. Like when you're saying like I'm on this journey of like healing myself, try more.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to be like trying is such a it gives you a lot of freedom to be lazy and
Yeah.
not trying. Like the intensity of trying, like the word trying is so ambiguous. Does
Yeah,
that
it's like in the middle, like, oh, I'll try. Like when someone says like to me, like, oh, I'll try and do that, and I'm like, no, you will do that. Like, do you know what I
no,
mean?
exactly.
Like,
It's like, oh,
yeah,
I'll try to be loyal. It's like,
yeah.
what?
When someone puts, to be fair, I think I don't know if anyone else feels like this, or if you feel like this. When someone says, "I'll try do that," I almost am like 60% sure that they're not going to do it. When someone says, "Oh, I'll try do that," like I feel like I'm like, yeah, you're probably not going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's like a half-ass. Okay, I'll try if I remember, but probably not. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. And I think for me it was a lot of like trying more with being conscious with how negative sometimes I was with my thoughts and
yeah,
just really being aware and not letting myself like, oh, I'm in a bad mood, so like these are the reasons why I have thoughts, or like giving myself excuses, like
yeah.
being disciplined with my thoughts a lot, because you can go in such a deep dark hole like and be such like your worst enemy, but
Mm,
just try more to be at peace with yourself, like try more to be positive when everything tells you not to,
yeah. I think
you
that's really,
know?
I like that a lot because, like, you can, especially like you said, with the word try, you can make a lot of excuses up without even meaning to. Because, like we said, the word try is like a half-assed, oh, yeah, I will do. Like, it's not like a full, yes, I will definitely. It's like
Yeah.
it's already a maybe anyway. Try is like, I'll try and do it. Like, I'll
Yeah,
maybe,
can
you
you
know?
can you imagine us like doing bodybuilding and be like, oh, I'll try to diet. I'll
Yeah,
try to do my
yeah.
cardio. Like,
Yeah, like I'll
so
try and add more. I'll try and add more cardio in. Oh, I'll try to diet. Like, no, you will do that. You will do it with 100%. You have like, yeah,
so I
I
need
completely get that. I get that.
the same way that I talk about bodybuilding, I should talk about my own journey, right? Of
Yeah,
like, when I go to therapy, like, oh, but I tried contacting like people or just
yeah,
change therapists and doing the hard thing. Like when you need to change therapists, like it's very difficult, but like you need to try more. Like you need to be disciplined and just
mm-hmm.
I need to talk about myself and my well-being as important as it is in bodybuilding, even more.
Yeah. I
Makes
like
sense?
that a lot. I think that's
Yeah.
really good because it's also it's hard for a lot of people to admit and like sometimes give more effort without actually realizing like we give a lot anyway, like the type of people we are, we like to give a lot to other people. When it comes to ourselves, we're like, oh, I'll try and do that. Like, for example, I know it sounds so silly, but like my nails, I'm like, oh, I'll try and get my nails done. Like I'm trying every like 2 weeks or something like that, just to go and pamper yourself, just to go and like do something for yourself. And it's always, oh, I'll try and do that, but it's always a fall short. Do you know what I mean? But like, it's
Yes.
never like that with bodybuilding. It's never like that with my clients. It's never like that with anyone else. It's always like that with myself, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's
Yes.
like, I get that. It's like, I will do what needs to be done for myself to feel good versus just saying try. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you're like, yes, yes, I get that. That's 100%. Yeah, to be fair, that I relate to that a lot. Okay, right.
I'm ready for
Let me get
yours.
up. Let me get up mine. Okay. Is this fine? Yeah. I thought I wrote down 4 and then like last minute, like like probably like 20 minutes before we started, I was like looking, I was like, right, what have I learned? And I really sat there and I was like, right, okay. Okay, so first one is I feel like for me is pretty hard and it's always been hard. And I guess people would say, well, I'll just say it. Stop doubting yourself. Yeah, I know. I'll just say
Try
it.
more, Phoebe. Go.
I was like, I'll try more. I'll try more. Stop doubting yourself. So, I mean, I'm very much like, I can get into my own head so easily. And I think what I was trying to explain a second ago was like, people wouldn't think that, but it is very much there a lot of the time. And that's something all the time that in therapy, it's always like, it always comes back to self-doubt. It always comes back to not believing in myself. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's always that's the core root of the issue. And I mean, that's always just been there basically. So for me, I think each year has 100% gotten better. Like I start to, like, it sounds stupid, but when people like, and I don't want to sound like either big-headed or whatever, when people say, like last year, people were like, oh, you're a top athlete. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like for me, that's my straight away answer. Like straight away, like, oh yeah, like you're you're like a top Olympian. I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, well, you are. Like the fucking facts are there, the proof's there. And I was like, well, I don't see it like that. Do you know what I mean? Like that's always my answer. And it can be the same with like posing, for example. People will be like, oh, you're great at posing. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Like that's always, it will be, even if it's in a jokey manner, it will always be, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? Like it will
You
never
cannot
be,
take it.
I
Like you
can't
cannot
accept,
take
yeah.
it.
And
But
it's
like, what
because,
would make you accept it though?
I don't know. I
Like you
don't know.
said, the
Because
facts
that's,
are there. Like
yeah.
it's not logical. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And I think that's something I've always still worked on in therapy a lot when I've been like, I just don't see it sometimes. Like, I don't. Like, I think for me, is because I was saying obviously to you before, I was like, I'm really tired, like, works, a lot recently. I think it is because I'm so just looking ahead at what I don't have versus just taking a fucking peek back and being like, look at how much you've done in the last, like, however long. Look at what you've created. Look at what you've done. Like, that's all you. Like, you've done that yourself. But I'm so focused on like what I haven't got, what other people have got and I haven't. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes, and I generally not don't remember, but I don't see what I then have built up. Do you know? So I think for me, it's always been like each year it will be like, stop self-doubting, like stop doubting yourself from the moment someone either compliments you or you do something good. You're always looking, okay, what's the next thing? Like it's good to look forwards. Like I think I did an Instagram post not that long ago. I was like, we're so focused on the future sometimes that we literally forget what we've done sometimes. And it's so true. And it's really sad because like we should remember all these amazing things and celebrate them, but we celebrate them for like what, like 2 minutes, and then next thing, right, what have I not got that I need to work towards now? Which is great, obviously, because it keeps us going, but it's like when is it ever enough, So I feel like that's something I'm still very much working on. I'm so much better than what I was even like a year ago. Like
Yeah.
a year ago, people would literally be like shocked at how bad I was talking about myself, like, and how I was talking to myself and what I'd like say. Now I'm very much like out of that, which is great. It's still very much there, but it's so much better, which is the main thing. But I think I say it's a lesson. It's definitely a lesson. I think it's more something that I want to try and work on, which is hard. Which is
It
hard.
is hard, especially when you have that it's a core belief and everything sticks to it. It's
Yeah.
like it's just so easy because it's within you. It's like your subconscious is the person that you are. And I'm
Mm.
smiling because I think you have such an amazing partner for you because Max talking about you, he was repping your shirt when he, like your merch when he got in, and he
I
was like
know.
talking about you, and like that's why I'm happy that you have that kind of support around you, because you're probably not even thinking that that's relevant, you know, because you guys have been so long together, and it's
Yeah.
like he's my boyfriend. Like, no, like he sees you from everybody that loves you see what he sees. And like he
Yeah.
said, the facts are there too. So sometimes just being able to see the facts. And I think you've been able to be a lot more present. Let's say if I take the Olympia prep, for example, where you felt like very happy, that was just
Yeah.
you, Phoebe, like being present and literally checking off your list just daily. Like I think
Mm.
you showcase that you were taking day by day and just have like a to-do list and check it out, and you're like accomplished. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You need to feel accomplished by the end of the day. And I think you being who you are, and just like the side of an entrepreneur that you have, it's always like that goal that's so far away, and it
Yeah.
seems so far away, and it's like it's never fast enough, and you feel like you
Yeah.
might not do anything enough anymore, but never give you grace and like patience. And yeah, sometimes you need to just, like you said, go to the pool downstairs,
I
like you were doing
know.
this morning. Just take the phone off, no comparison, no nothing. Just you with
Yeah.
yourself, and be like, shit, I'm in fucking Dubai. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
And
Like,
that's
I'm in
again,
Dubai.
it's something like that. Like I would never in a million years think I would be like where I am now. And like I forget it and just not take it for granted, because I definitely don't do that. But like you're like, okay, where am I next? Like I want to try and like get a house, or I want to try and do this, and I want to like, but I'm like, I'm in like an apartment. I have my own office. I have my own like work, like company, like things like that. Like, and it's not like me listing off things I have, but like, I think that's another thing where I do think of like the things that I have. I don't want to list them off. I'm always thinking about like the next thing, you know?
I think that's fine,
It's
but
hard though.
practicing gratitude when you wake
Yeah.
up, like I think that's going to be very helpful for you, to just be grateful to what you have, but you still be like as driven as you are for like the future, but never
Yeah.
forgetting about what you have, your health, and all these
Yeah.
things. Not
No,
not taking that
100%.
for granted, but just like forgetting. You forget, and
That's the thing. It's that exactly that, and I think a lot of people. Well, I would have thought a lot of people kind of relate to this, because it's kind of a you know a thing that a lot of people probably like feel like when they just feel like it's never enough. And I feel like sometimes you do so much and you're like, I'm gonna feel satisfied after this. Sometimes it's like competing, for example. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna feel satisfied after this show, or I'm gonna feel satisfied after this. And if you don't, you're like, what next? Like, do I keep pushing? Do I do another show? Do I do something else? Do I do like, do you know what I mean? It's like an itch that needs to be scratched, but when is that scratch gonna go? Like not go, but like be enough. Do you know what I mean? So sometimes I think I struggle with that sometimes. But I think also it is a case of like social media. You see obviously, people doing incredible things. It makes you think what you do is a lot less. So I think sometimes like it was going kind of back to like your first one, where it's like your core beliefs, like what do you believe in? Like if what you're doing is enough, that's okay. Just because someone else is doing something different, it doesn't mean that takes away value from your goal or value from anything that you're doing. And it's so funny I'm saying this and I'm like, okay, yeah, but just go in. Like actually
no,
believe it.
just
Like I'm
get it
saying
and
it, but
like
I'm
do
like,
it.
just believe it. But yeah, the second one was, you actually said it, was be more patient. So patience is everything. Like making sure that you are, like for me, I was like, my lesson is like, I need to be patient just with everything in life. Like, and just a few, like more things, like when it comes to relationships, when it comes to like families, friendships, business, all of it, being patient, like shows, all that type of thing, dieting, everything. And it sounds like such a common, like normal one, but I feel like it's something that I'm always learning each time, because like I said, going back to the first one, I'm always chasing and being like, okay, this needs to come, this needs to hurry up. And I'm like, the process is the best part, and I feel like getting that goal is like the cherry on top. And that's something I always learn each year, I guess. I haven't like learned it this year, but I feel like the process is the best part. I always love the process. Like in a prep, like last year you said about Olympia, that process was so amazing, and then it made that end result even fucking sweeter. So I feel like the process, and if you're patient with the process, it will be so much, the reward will be so much sweeter. And I feel that's a big lesson that I've learned, not just this year, just in general, for sure. And I really agree with that a lot. Like patience is just everything.
Patience is a virtue. That's
I was gonna say that I didn't know how to pronounce it. I was like, is it virtue or virtue? I don't know. Um, third one, everything will work. Oh, what is
You heard
that?
that?
Is that
Thunder.
thunder?
Yeah,
Oh
Florida
my
thunder.
God.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That was
nasty.
loud. Mac, I was on
Sorry.
the voice not voice note. I was on the phone with Max when he was in Miami. And I think it was quite a lot of storming when he was there. And it was so loud. Like I was like, that's really scary.
It's scary.
Like that's
It's
scary.
scary.
Because that scared me. I thought someone was moving a chair. Um everything will work itself out is my third lesson.
Ugh,
Because it fucking
Jeff
will. Like
kiss. It
I
fucking
know.
will.
I know, and it's so hard because when you're in it, you will not see it at all. Like sometimes if you're in a sticky situation or you're in something that's like feeling really shit or something's gone wrong in that moment, you can't see a way out. And I've been there so many times, and I'm sure you have, where you've literally been like, there is no fucking way, like this is gonna work or do something, and it does. And I think you stress so much in that moment, you just think everything just goes out of your head, and like almost like all, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but like all thoughts just kind of go to like negative and shit. And obviously that's what people do like when they first think like if something's gone wrong, right? I get that. But I
Yeah, you
think,
worry. Yeah.
yeah, I think if you step back and like, right, let's worry for fucking 5 minutes, but after that, let's think of a solution. What's actually going to happen? Let's think of a solution. Let's do this like that. Oh, that's loud.
Violent. It's violent. So think about a
But yeah,
solution, especially when you're impatient, Phoebe, you know? Like,
exactly. So
I
it's
know.
like patience, doubting yourself, but then trying to push yourself to be so like on it all the time that you're really impatient, and then actually just realizing actually everything will work itself out. Like those, they all kind of align a lot, you know? Like I think it's so hard in the moment to kind of realize like it will work itself out. Like I said, because you just don't see a way out sometimes. But I think it sounds really cringy or whatnot, but if you sit down and actually kind of like clear your thoughts, sometimes I actually think like because I feel like for some reason all like shit things happen at night for some reason. For me anyway, all my things that I've like found out or something's gone wrong, it's always been in the evening or like afternoon. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to bed because I need to go to bed. I need to have a clear head. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm not
Mhm.
gonna, obviously if it was really, really urgent, I need to tend to it right there. Obviously I wouldn't, but if it was something that if I regardless, whatever I do, it's not going to change. I'm like, I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to wake up in the morning and then we'll figure it out. Because because your head is so scattered, I just can't think of a solution in that manner. So I'm like, right, just go to bed, wake up, figure your shit out in the morning. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for me, that's something that I have definitely learned, that it will work itself out, and just try and obviously try and stay
Just be
positive
more,
as much as you can.
yes, and just be more stoic about everything that happens
Yeah.
to you, right? So, like, obviously, there's things that's going to happen to you, and it might be extremely negative. Might be extremely hurtful. But if you go back to like these things happens for me and not to me,
Yeah.
and going into that victim mentality and all that negative thinking, you can be just at peace with it. And
Yeah.
I got this tattoo like before the Arnold, like of 2021,
Mm.
and it says Amor Fati, and it basically says love of your own fate, FATE,
Mm.
and it's just
Pause.
whatever you believe in, God, Allah, whomever, the universe, it happens for you, not to you. The hurtful things are lessons. Like whatever we're voicing right now, like our five biggest lesson or 10, whatever, is things that show up into our life, most likely in a negative way, that we're trying to get out better
Yeah.
out of it. So yeah, I think Phoebe, if you want to read on like little stoicism, like that would be for
Mm,
anyone listening right now.
definitely.
It's really like life revealing, and it just makes you be more like grounded.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that's
Because entrepreneur, I
it's
think it's
true.
so easy to just get so quick into like the more mentality, like I'll sleep when I'm dead, like all these things,
I
and you
know.
never stop, and you just need to be grounded. And like I think my parents are the best example of that, and I do think your dad is probably a very good example of
Yeah.
like being stoic and just it's not being laid back, it's just like embracing all the things, like just
Yeah.
all of it. Like being late for, like, being late for work just because there was an accident in front of you. Like, what do you want to do? Like, you're gonna stay in your car and be like angry and just like upset you for the rest of your
Yeah.
day? Like, just be like stoic as
It's
long as you're,
happened. It's happened. It's not happened to me. It's just happened. You get
yeah,
on, you move on from it. You like sit in it, whatever, and you move on, and that's it. Like, do you know
yeah,
what I mean? Like those types of things, 100%. Like those types of things that we get. Like, there's so many shit things that I get so annoyed about, and I'm like, why am I annoyed? Like, I'll take it back and be like, why am I annoyed at this? Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you said about that accident thing, I've been there so many times where there's been one thing that's like triggered you where you've just been annoyed at it, and I'm like, why are you annoyed at that? It's such a small thing. It's so irrelevant and it's going to ruin your rest of your day. No, like I think that's something that I've definitely like learned to be better at 100%, even this year. Cause I was very much like the type of person that I don't get annoyed at much, but like obviously, especially in prep, when you become irritable and stuff, being patient and things that obviously go wrong, they become so much more heightened. And I'm like, I
mhm.
don't want to be that person that is miserable or upset or whatever, like for small things going wrong. So I was like, I need to change that mentality, and I want to. So yeah, that was my number 3.
That's awesome.
My my number 4 is not everyone is gonna like you and your opinion, because and which kind of fits quite well. Which kind of fits well
Stop
with your
right
first
there.
one. I know. I mean, these are pretty much literally all yours, but like just in different wording. But like, it's that people pleasing mentality where if someone didn't agree with me or like agree or like what I was doing or something like that, and mainly it's my opinion. Oh, that's loud. Please.
Every time that I'm like, okay, it's gonna be quiet and
And then it's
silence
like,
for this podcast.
it's okay. It's
Like
not, to
this
be fair.
loop, I'm like,
I reckon you guys can't even hear it. I can just hear it because I'm like full headphones on. But yeah, not everyone is going to like your opinion, because again, like I said, it's the people pleasing mentality where I've very much been the type of person, if someone doesn't agree with me or someone's like, I don't think that's a right, I'd be like, oh really? Like, and try and change my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll be like, oh, like, yeah, I'm wrong. Like that will be the first thing that I would do. Do you know what I mean? So like for me, I've very much like now been like, okay, I need to stop kind of having that mentality where I am like saying, oh no, like I don't believe in what I actually believe in and I believe in what you're saying. Like literally pretty much what you were saying obviously at the beginning. And making sure that, because I don't know, I've been there where I like, when if someone doesn't like me or like my opinion, I do think about it a lot. Like, which is so stupid,
you get
but like,
self-conscious about it.
yeah. And then I start
Yeah,
to think, it starts to affect my mannerisms and my environment, because I'm like, well, am I actually wrong? Or am I doing something wrong? Am I a bad person? Because this person doesn't like me, even though fucking 10 other people like me. But this one person, because this one reason
yeah.
doesn't like me, it's going to ruin my afternoon or day or month or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and that really, and it still kind of does, but it really used to get to me. Um,
Yeah.
so,
I'm
and I mean,
surprised because I don't see anyone not liking you, like at all. And I think it's more it's more an issue on themselves. Like I don't think, I mean, the lesson for you is that not everyone's gonna like you, which is it's
yeah.
fine. But for me, like the idea that that someone would not like someone, I think it's so crazy. Like,
Mm,
is there, like, I'm asking you, is there anyone that you don't like? Like it's, unless, I
yeah.
mean, okay, yeah, but I mean, do you have enemies? Like,
We're like,
do you
is
have,
there
no,
anyone you don't like?
but like, people that just
Well,
don't like you, like, because I don't, like,
oh,
I
for
can't
no
even
reason.
fathom.
For no
I
reason.
cannot fathom. Like, give me like an actual fucking reason why you don't like me, and
I
I'll let
know.
you.
I
You know
know.
what I'm saying?
And
Because I feel that you being you and me being me, because we definitely relate on that, we would be like, oh my God, this person said a comment and it's not the truth. Let me talk to her, call her,
yeah,
ring.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
Let
mean,
me
it's sometimes
explain to you my point of view completely, and then you can say you don't like me. Then if you choose to not like me for that reason, I'm like, I cannot help you anymore, and
yeah, but
that's
then
very real for me.
that's something that I also then just want to not have to do, because that's so much energy, right? So like if I, like you said, if there was a comment and I'm like, oh my God, someone said something to me, again, using your energy and like being like, right, message them. Like, why don't you like me? Trying to change their minds. And I'm like, no one, like, not everyone's going to agree with it. You have to deal with it. Like, unless it's something obviously like stupidly valid and they're completely wrong, and you're obviously, then you try and obviously you want to, if you want to, that's fine. But I'm like, I'm so done with trying to feed other people's energy, or no, sorry, to use that energy up to like, I don't know how to say it, but you know what I'm trying to
No,
say is
girl,
in like,
it's like giving up on being understood. That's what I was trying to tell you.
yeah,
My thing is like give up on trying to be understood, because you can
yeah,
tell someone the truth, the fact, it's coming from you, like the person that lived it and
and they
went through
still
it,
don't
and then it's
care.
like, but that person said, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
It was great talking to you, but I wish you luck. But I swear to God, Phoebe, like my heart is that open to like when those people want to hear the truth, even though they went on the other side and like they bash me and they hate me, I'm gonna be there for them, because
yeah,
you're like, oh my God, you've made your growth on yourself to come back at me and ask me like, hey, I'm ready to hear the truth now. Like I've done my own journey. Like I'm ready to hear it. I'm like,
yeah.
good. Let me give you the
I
truth,
think
and
that's
you
good.
do whatever you want with the truth from now on. Because seeing people what they do with the truth is like, what the fuck? Like
Mm,
it's so in their face and they still choose a lie. Like, what do you want, Phoebe? So it's not in your hand anymore. And I think you're right with like saving your energy. And that energy needs to go to the people that loves you, like
yeah,
unconditionally. And there's
because
a lot of
I would
I
go
love you
to.
unconditionally until you like you do something really fucked up, like killing someone. You know what I'm
Yeah, you're
saying?
like, until you do something fucked up, I love you with all my heart.
It's unconditional, like
I
straight
know.
up. And I think I move and you move in a way where like you love everyone unconditionally until proven
Yeah,
wrong.
this is the thing. I very much like Max has always said that Max is very cutthroat with, if he doesn't, if he catches a vibe very quickly. So if he catches a
Yeah.
vibe and it's off, he's like, no, don't like him. And I'm like, but they
Yeah,
haven't
he's the
proven
opposite.
themselves to. Yeah, I'm like the complete opposite. I was like, they can prove themselves to me, and that's how I'd always get fucked over. Like, there's been so many situations where Max has caught the vibe first, like way before, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't think this is a good idea, and I'm like, no, it's fine, like this person's fine, da, da, da. And like a year, not even a fucking year, sometimes months down the line, you're like, yeah, you were right. Like, and he'll listen to this and literally be like, yeah, because the amount of times he'll be like, I want to say told you so, but I already told you, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of
Yes, I
like,
know what you mean.
I just want to try and, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, because I do like wholeheartedly say trusting, but obviously being open with people and just giving everyone a chance. Like, I've always been, I don't want to lose that quality, but I also don't want to give the wrong people the chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to try and obviously not just be so open to everyone and waste my energy on people that don't deserve it. Um, so yeah, I think that's something that, yeah, definitely.
It's keeping your mind
Um,
open and your heart open, but then having a certain standard that people who have access to you needs
yeah,
to reach.
yes, I like that.
We definitely, we both, you and I, need to work on that, because
Yeah,
I
we're
feel
like,
that
we
we
both need
give
to work on that.
access to a lot of people because it brought us here in some type of way,
Yeah,
like being so open on YouTube and all these things, like, but letting access to people, like people should not have as much access as Max have in your life, right? So like
yeah.
friendship, like there's levels to it, and we should
Hmm.
establish that, and just not be like, hey, I'm here, like just feed off of me, and then you have all these
Yeah,
people coming, and the next thing you know, that person that showed up as a friend for you is actually now your worst enemy because you open yourself to it, and now you're
yeah,
twisting shit around.
yeah.
Yeah, and you get screwed.
It's it's hard. It's fucking shit. It's fucking shit. Right. And then last one, which is, I mean, kind of maybe similar to like the first one anyway, but stop stressing about always having to be better. Always. As in like in fucking everything. Like, obviously you want to always be better than before and all that type of thing. And like I do very much like, I love that quotation. I mean, that's what my clothing's called, better than before. Like, I believe in it. But stressing out so much to the point where, like I said before, like it controls everything that you do. Like, I have to be better, I have to be perfect, I have to be this. Like, I'm very much, like I said before, like I'm very much always forwards. That's it. And I mean, that's kind of like the same as what I was talking about before with what's it called? With the first one, obviously with like self-doubt and obviously being patient and stuff. But I am always looking forwards, and it's so hard for me to not look forwards. And it's always like, you have to be perfect, you have to be better. like, and I think I've spoken about this with my therapist before, and that very much does come back to kind of like childhood a lot of the times, where I had to be, you know, better. I had to always do better and this, that, the other in such situations. So it's just kind of stemmed from that in a way. And I think that's something that's still very much ingrained into me, but I think it's getting better. It's just hard, obviously, always having to just have to try and be perfect, or try and think about, oh, you need to be doing this at 100%, 24/7, athlete or businesswoman or this, and you have to be better than everyone or better than what you were before. And it's sometimes fucking exhausting. And all I want to do is just be baseline for a little bit, you know? And I don't allow myself to do that sometimes. So yeah, I need to learn to do that.
Like, why do you think, what do you think would happen if you were to go baseline?
I feel like I feel like I should be doing more. There's always I have to be doing more. That's always my, like, I have to be doing more. Like, if I'm just baseline, or if I haven't.
If you weren't?
Yeah, I know. This is the thing. Nothing. Like, not like that. But that's for me, sometimes that's my issue, where I'm like, nothing will happen if I am baseline. So get your shit done. And that's the mentality I have sometimes. But I have to step back from that and just be baseline to be able to project and be better next time. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes pushing, always being better all the time, you just actually need to just be baseline just for a fucking little bit.
Yeah, just level yourself, you know, like all that like aggressiveness of like going, that I think it's good to have at some point. But
you need to bring it down.
Level it, like put it down a notch, and just have like the like being present, like grateful, like patience, all these things just level you down to have like that energy to just save yourself, because that's how you burn yourself out, is when there's like level is just so out of control, and you're just like go, and once it's just gonna fucking paralyze you.
Yeah. So I mean, those are me 5.
I love it.
My 5 lessons, and that's our 10 in total.
It's all lessons that still needs to carry on. You know, yeah. It's not like a one said and done, except the coffee one. The coffee one is like,
except the coffee one. That's a right. We need to just sort that out and be done with that one. But no, I think these lessons, like that we've obviously said, are like, there's something very much that I've been learning like for years now, like trying to keep learning years in different scenarios in a way. Like, it's not a lesson that, like you said, will just be like, oh yeah, I've learned how to do that. Like, it will always still be baseline, where it will be just there, like doubting myself. It's always still going to be there. It's a lot less than it was like years ago, even a year ago. It's a lot less than what it was. It still sometimes creeps up in certain scenarios, but I've learned to be, what's the word? I've learned to overcome it in a better way. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it won't consume me now. So if I'm thinking about like self-doubting thoughts, or I'm upset, or this, that, the other, I won't be like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm just going to not try. It will be like, okay, why are you feeling like, it will be like, why are you feeling like this? Like, console yourself, this, that, the other, and bring yourself down, versus just going off the rails, you know? So, but.
It got disconnected for a second. I don't know what happened.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. It just cut out for a second.
It got disconnected for a second. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that was such a great episode, because it also made me reflect. I think it made you reflect too. And I think it's such a great start to our week and the next week to come. So
no, I like that.
Thank you for that idea. I love it. Do you want to go through what some people have said?
Yeah. So, okay. So, I mean, a lot of people kind of have said something very like similar to kind of what we've said as well. Someone said, obviously, patience and understanding can go a long way, which is very true. I like that. And like, I think understanding, like, trying to understand someone's like viewpoint sometimes, and like we said about being open-minded, I think that's very important to try and like, it goes a long way, you know, to try and understand someone's opinion versus being like, no, I don't agree with that, you know?
Seek the truth. Seek the truth.
100%. I like that. I love this. This is literally me. To literally not give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. Preach. Which is exactly what we've said. So
I know.
Yeah. So pretty much that. To not take life too seriously, which I think that's a good one. Like, I love that. To like,
girl, yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to like get wrapped up in the adult shit, then we don't actually enjoy it, and then we're like, what are we actually living for? It's sad to actually come to that realization sometimes. So I feel like that taking life not too seriously really is a good one. trusting myself and a knowledge, she said in brackets, became a doctor. Fucking hell, that's insane. So that, yeah, so like trusting herself and her knowledge. And I think that comes back to kind of like self-doubt in a way, and like trusting yourself and your abilities and what you are capable of, what you are able to do.
Facts.
Yeah, literally the facts. It's facts completely. It's okay to fail and start again. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means God has a plan, which I think I like that a lot. Like it's okay to fail. It's okay to start over. It's okay to reset and do something different. Whether that be a career, I don't know, new bloody workout, like something, you know, like trying something different or failing at it. I feel like fail isn't a fail. It's a lesson. Like, I know it sounds so cringy, but it's true.
You don't fail until you never, like, never give up is never, as long as you don't give up, you never fail.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So I feel like that's something that's very true. Someone said, protein farts are a true test to someone's love.
Oh my God.
She said, if you know, you know. So if you sit there and your partner farts and it's protein farts and you don't say anything, then that is true love.
I'm just thinking of backstage, like all the backstage.
The smells backstage, like especially with you're with those bodybuilders. And I mean, I remember being backstage at the Arnold's UK, and I was with one of the bikini girls, and we smelled this disgusting smell all of a sudden. And I was like, where did that come from? And there was just this one guy, I don't know who it was, this one guy sat backstage, and there was no one else but us. And I was like, was it you? And she was like, no. And I was like, it wasn't me. And we looked, and I was like, there's no way it's us. There was literally us and him, and that was it. And I was like, it's you. I was like, and he's just sat there like nothing's happened. I was like, wow, you're happily to just drop that. But no, that is very true. Let's have a look at the others. Your mindset is a very powerful thing. Be positive, which is good. I like that. It's a very positive thing. It's a very strong thing as well. I think that we forget that the mind is is stronger than we think, and we have to train it to be strong. And I think one way to train it is obviously, like she said, being positive, versus if you're always negative, you're always going to go to negative thoughts straight away. Like even if you like complain about the smallest thing, even if it's an everyday thing, you complain about something, that's just going to seep into every opinion you have. Like, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, this, like, it's just going to be like that constantly, versus if you try and just be positive about one thing, it's just going to be so much better. A lesson I learned is I love the person I am. I love that. That's really cute.
That's the best thing I've heard. Yeah.
Because like, it's like, I think a lot of the times we don't actually like say like, I love myself. Do you know what I mean? Like we're always like, oh, there's something better. I could do something to be better. You know, it's always better. But actually being like, do I love what I do? Do I love like who I am and what I do for other people or for myself? Yes, I fucking do. And I think that's lovely. I think that's so nice. Okay, one more.
I had a girl this morning that sent me a picture of another competitor, and she was like, I went from feeling ready to now feeling like I'm too small and not enough and all these things. And I was like, the first thing that I said was, would you change your life with that person? Like exchange, like I would tell you, okay, you want this? Do you want it today? You say, I'm going to change my life with that person completely. Oh, she was like, that fucking like cut me. No, like, no, you don't. So like whatever you see on fucking Instagram and like you have tendency to compare yourself, like be like aware that there's a whole human being. Like you're a whole human being. Like focus on you and what you do and your life. Like I have my things going on in my life that are like pretty fucked up, to be honest, that I wish I didn't have. But would I change my life with anybody right now? Like no, because I still have things that I have in my life that I'm very grateful that I have, and that they wouldn't be in my life and as precious as if I wasn't in like
this scenario. Right? Yeah.
So loving yourself is a really big thing, and it's not cocky, or you shouldn't feel ashamed of screaming that out loud and everywhere, and just
I think that's very true. A lot of times, like society, we start loving ourselves and they're like, oh, you're too obsessed, you're too this, you're too like, be obsessed with yourself if you really want to. Like that if that's what makes you feel good, be obsessed with yourself. Be absolutely head over heels for yourself. Like it's something that we all need to understand a little bit more, because I think we are too scared to sometimes love ourselves like wholeheartedly and be like, no, I fucking love like who I am and what I do and this, that, the other, because they think it's self-obsessed or it's too selfish or whatever. Who cares? Like, who actually cares?
Yeah, until you
So,
don't like hurt other people by doing so.
oh
If you
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
like narcissistic
If the core
behavior, like
values are actually, yeah, if the
yeah,
actual values are still pure, then completely fair enough. If they're completely horrible and nasty, then definitely not. But
yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm
Well,
trying to
you
say.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Last one is setting boundaries. Well, it's kind of similar to what you said. Setting boundaries and saying no when you need to is a good lesson that I've learned, which is it's very true. And I think sometimes people do find it very hard to say no. Like, you can already see like a lot. I mean, there's even loads still like up here that I'm seeing that I've kind of already what we've said. Like, it's like people, that's how people like, or those are the lessons that people are learning, like as time goes on, as life goes on, like everyone kind of feels it.
Yeah.
People learn it faster than the others, and that's okay. So I think I loved this episode. It was really nice to kind of like go through our things that we've learned so far this year. And I mean, we're almost in July. We've got what, 5 months and what, 5 days left of 5 months left? 5 months?
Yeah.
July. Fucking hell. July. Like, July's next week. Oh, that's really scary. I was like, oh, we've got 6 months left. And I was like, no, 6 months was June, beginning of June. Now it's the 25th of June. So we've got 5 months and a bit left. Oh, until 2024. So, I mean, it was
That's
kind of good
wild.
to go through the lessons. But thank you guys so much for watching, as always. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you comment down below the lessons you've learned. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah.
And if you're on Spotify, rate and all that type of thing, because we'd love to hear more about what you think of the podcast. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just thank you so much for watching.
That's a wrap for the 10th episode.
I know. I can't believe it. I'm
know.
excited to get to episode. I feel like 10 is such a significant number. Now the next one's like 100. Like episode 100. Like,
Will be wild.
when will be episode 100? If we do one, so we've got
That's what I was
90
trying
more.
to like calculate in my head.
I'm
I
not
think
gonna
by
try.
24 is going to be 30 more episodes or 30 total.
Oh yeah, because it's only 4. It's because I was thinking, yeah,
it's
there's only 4
5
months
months.
technically. Yeah.
4 a month, so that's 20. So by 2024, we're going to be at 30.
Oh my God, that's a long time.
There's
Jeez. But we'll
52
still be going
weeks.
strong.
Oh my God, girl! Like it's a year and like another
Yeah, I
year and a
know.
half before we
I
hit
know.
100. I mean, maybe we'll go
We've got
to
a long way
like
to
twice
go.
a week. We'll see.
We
What-
could
what-
definitely do. We could try and do it for the Olympia. I feel like the Olympia chats would just be. People would probably want to know, but also they'd be so boring because our brain cells will probably be so small by then. So, but
Right.
we can always, try and figure it out. But no, I'm excited for episode 100, and thank you for staying with me for episode 10. So
That's
love you
okay.
loads.
Guys, if you didn't see this, this is just Phoebe like putting herself again like in that fucking like. Can we just enjoy the episode 10? She's like already 100. That's like in 2
I
fucking
know
years.
this is, and I don't even need to do it. I don't even mean to do it. That I love that you pointed that
I
out,
love
because
you
now
for
I
it,
feel
though.
I feel so vulnerable because I literally got caught in the fucking act straight away. This is what I mean.
I'm here for
my
it,
God.
girl. I love you,
That's
girl.
what I mean. And I can't wait for episode 100 in a year and a half. Like, fuck's sake. Like, that's where my brain goes. I'm so annoyed at myself. Clearly, I've learned nothing.
I love you so much. I'm here for it. Okay, guys. We're signing off.
Love you so much. See you soon.
Bye.
Oh my God.